Yo, my people, welcome to the brand new channel, Curtis Talks Football. It is what it says on the tin. My name's Curtis. I'm gonna be talking football, specifically all things Chelsea, all things the Blues. You know what I'm saying? London is Blues still, even after yesterday's loss, but we'll get into that in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna be releasing videos weekly, and as this channel evolves, I will start talking about other teams, specifically in the Premier League and world football. But for the foreseeable future, I'll just be talking about Chelsea, match reviews, transfer news, all things Chelsea basically. But we'll start off with maybe one video a week, 2 videos a week. Just hang about, set your notifications on, and that brings me to it. We want to get this channel all the way to the top, yeah? So we're going to start small, road to 50 subscribers, yeah? So if you're watching this, please help, share, like, subscribe, comment below what you want to see from this channel, what you want me to talk about, what your opinions, what's your reactions to what I'm saying. I want to hear what you have got to say. I want to interact with you. I want to engage. And this is just the channel where you'll come to know, you'll come to understand my personality and my views on the game. But I'm a realist and very calm, very composed. I like to look at the full picture. You're not going to be getting any melodramatic reactions. So sorry if you like that. I mean, occasionally, but it will be authentic. It will be real. There's nothing here for me to try and get clout, try and go viral. I'm keeping it authentic to myself, and whatever the reactions are warranted, are the reactions that are warranted. So yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy. As I say, if you do, please like, share, and subscribe, and press the hype button so more and more people can get to see this channel and get to see these videos. So, as you can see from the title, Rosenior Mourinho, question mark. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, yesterday's performance, although it was incredibly disappointing, and it always is, to lose to our local, I don't call them rivals, I call them little bro, because they're not true competition, you know what I mean? Anybody my age, my generation, 29, you know, we not worried about Arsenal. Arsenal little boys, you know what I mean? Didier Drogba used to smack them up left, right and centre. And to this day, they ain't won no trophies. Beat us in the FA Cup a few years ago, but other than that, they ain't got the big ears. They ain't got the Premier League. They ain't got the Champions League. So I don't see them as true rivals like that, but they're an annoying neighbour at the very least. And so to lose to them is never fun, never enjoyable. However, I liked what I saw from the manager. I like the way he set us up. The whole Mourinho connection for me is winning by any means necessary. Realising your limitations, but realising your strengths. And the way that he set us up to nullify Arsenal's attack, nullify Arsenal's whole team, in fact, where there wasn't much going on in that first half. We finished it 0-0, and then going into that second half, as we were sort of predicting, the commentators, some of the stuff I was seeing online, everybody was sort of thinking, all right, cool, we see where he's going with this. Let's keep it tight, and then let's come on later in the game by bringing on a Palmer, bringing on an Esteval. Shout out Esteval for turning up yesterday. Condolences to him and his family for whatever he's going through. But, you know, as Rosenior touched on, that shows a lot of bottle, a lot of guts, a lot of strength in a young kid to come back and do that. Brazil ain't round the corner either, so I know he must have been knackered, so big up to him. But, yeah. You know, that was the plan. And did it nearly work? I don't think it's fair to say that it nearly worked. It did, from the sense that we kept it 0-0 up to the 90th minute. So anything could happen. You know, you watch football long enough, anything could happen. We could have got a goal, we could have got a penalty that then led to a goal, whatever. But it wasn't to be. Years gone by, the difference between Rosenior yesterday and Mourinho back in the day when he was managing, Rosenior don't have a Drogba. He don't have a Lampard at this particular point. Even Palmer, our star boy, he's not, you know, cooking at the moment. He's still recovering from injuries and all sorts. So had he had a prolific goal scorer in the biggest games like Drogba was, but even, you know, even putting that aside, just having a real strong target man, knows how to play with his back to goal, can throw his weight around, cause some issues, maybe even get one of the centre-backs sent off, something like that. You know, we could have maybe got a result yesterday. You know, something out of the game, took it to penalties or maybe even won the game. by 2, which we would have needed to do to go through without penalties. You know, that's the key difference for me. So for me, I like that. I like a manager who's willing to switch it up. Like I say, focus on the game and by any means necessary. That is the Chelsea DNA. We're winners. That's why we're the biggest club in London, the best club in London. We've got all the history that we've got, all the trophies that we've got, is simply because we don't limit ourselves to a style. We don't limit ourselves to, you know, winning beautifully. We just want to win. Winning is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We all want that, Chelsea trophy parade. We want to go and have the day out. We want those victories. And I think if Rosenior is able to get us to a final, after yesterday, I'm confident that, he's got the chops to get the job done. Again, I'm optimistic, yeah? He's still got a lot of questions to answer. So the jury's still out on Rosenior, but no one can argue with his recent statistics. I think, what was it? 1 loss in 6 or 7 before yesterday's game. So now it'd be 2 losses in 7 or 8 or whatever. I'm not sure what the stat is, but again, a good start. A good start. Come in when we was having a poor run of form, and he's turned it around instantly. We've only lost to the best team in the league right now. As much as that pains me to say, that's all he's lost to. So again, it's not for me to be throwing my toys out the pram, as the saying is, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Let's keep our heads, let's keep calm, let's remain optimistic for the future and for the rest of the season. I like what I see from him. He tries things. If it doesn't work, he changes it at halftime. This is less about Arsenal now and about the games just before that, Napoli and West Ham. So yeah, it's not just off of yesterday's game, but it was in yesterday's game where I see him do something different, like completely different. And I haven't seen that a Chelsea team do that in a while. Managers not come in and set us up like that. We're very defensive, very creative, putting the lap out right when obviously that's out of nowhere. That's outside the box thing to do. And, it nearly worked as far as keeping the game tight for as long as it did. Like I say, if we had a sparkle, a player in form with confidence that could have just smashed one top corner, we would have gone to penalties, and then who knows? And at the end of the day, I would rather that, because that was our best chance of winning the game. Oh, before I forget, another amazing thing that he did, which Maresca did before he left, and I was begging for him to do yesterday, and he did. At the corner, he kept 3 men at the halfway line, nullified Arsenal's corner threat. Nullified them. I was crying out for it. Me and my dad, in fact, at some point, he might even feature on the video, either on the phone or actually on camera. But we both spoke about it, and we was begging for that to happen, so that it was less crowded in there. There was no ping pong or pinball effect where the ball bounces around and it's an own goal or it's a tap in, and he did that. So again, big up to him. He did everything right tactically. He did everything right tactically to the best of his ability to keep us in the game and give us the best possible chance. As he said in the post-match press conference, had we gone out there and we just gone, we're Chelsea, we're going to give it to you, and just went all out attack and then got slapped 3-1, 3-2, whatever, I'm even keeping it calm. But realistically, it could have been a horrible scoreline. It could have been a 4-0. Let me even throw that example out there. Everybody would have said, what are you doing going to the current league leaders and being so overconfident and thinking that you could do this and do that? So it's a lose-lose for him, yeah? But it's standards of Chelsea Football Club, do you know what I mean? That's why we love him. But like I said, I'm a realist. I appreciate what he did. In another generation of Chelsea, Football Club and Chelsea squads, it would have worked a treat. Unfortunately, yesterday it wasn't to be. But that's what the reference of the title is. Rosenior, Mourinho. Can he do it? Can he win the trophies at the Blues? We got to find out, innit? So time will tell with that one. But yeah, I like what I see. I like that he's, mixed it up. And yeah, man, hopefully he continues in that way and take strength from that game, confidence from that game to try things again in the future. And who knows what the future holds in that respect. So with that, we bring it to the end of the first video on Curtis Talks Football. I've been your host, Curtis. This is that new footballing channel that you need to get behind. Back it, share it, get in the comment sections. Do you disagree? Am I chatting shit? Excuse my language. You know, Rosenior, Mourinho, is it too early is it ridiculous to even put a question mark like that? Put a question out there, but let me hear it, man. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. I'd love to hear yours and have a back and forth in the comment section. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.